Muy buenas chicos, aquí Zal. Bienvenidos un día más a un vídeo de Genshin Impact. Bueno, estamos haciendo el acto 3 de Liyue, o sea, del capítulo 1 sería. Nos toca hacer la misión La fragancia de la soledad. Así que vamos allá, estuvimos hablando con Ningguang y conseguimos de su supuesto tablero de la nieve de papel, donde supone que tiene todo apuntado y que eso te hará millonario, como una nota para ir al punto que estemos marcado en el mapa. Así que vamos a ver a dónde nos lleva eso. Estoy viendo mucho enemigo por aquí. Sí, bueno, estos en concreto nunca están contentos. Pero mientras los que están por ahí solo estén mirando, no me voy a preocupar mucho. Vale, ahora va a hacer algo más que mirar. No, no te metas esa mierda. Vale, fuera. Ah, bueno, me hace falta este otra vez. Y justo fallo. Lo malo de Chongyun es que es el que menos tengo leveado del equipo ahora mismo. Pero bueno, es que me hace falta un mandoble para andar por Liyue, porque es que me sale un bicho de geo y apaga. Y adiós muy buenas. Hala, fuera. Vale, ¿y ahora qué? Revisa la investigación de los Fatui. Ah, arriba en plan que trepe, ¿no? Igual hasta me he pelado con esos y no tenía que pelarme con esos. No hay nadie aquí.
There are so many talismans here. And some stacks of blank paper too. What are they for?
Parece que copiaron en ellos el patrón de los talismanes.
I haven't seen this pattern before. But where? Oh, Paimon knows.
Me encanta, el otro dando vueltas.
The sigil of permission the child gave you. But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in the hands of someone like Child? Suspicious.
No es solo una reliquia.
Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the Sigil of Permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic. Talismans like that were once used in the Archon War to channel divine powers. Maybe the Fatui are copying the Sigil of Permission in hopes of achieving a similar effect. Being able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that sounds pretty dangerous.
No hay duda de que los Fatui están tramando algo.
And the plot thickens. We'll need to keep an eye on Child, that's for sure.
Ya, pobre. Yo lo quiero mucho.
That's enough sticking around here. We gotta go meet up with Zhongli soon. The last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour is Dihua Marsh. Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
Entonces a Paimon no le caería yo muy bien, porque de una forma u otra siempre acabo llegando tarde. Reúnete con Zhongli en el pantano de Dihua. No tengo nada muy cerca de allá. Mis teorías sobre Liyue es que a Rex Lapis quizás lo mató Child. Esa es mi teoría. Quiero creer que no, porque me daría un poco de pena, porque entonces seguramente tengo que darle de hostias a Child. Pero es que me cae bien. No puedo evitar que no puede caerme mal. Y otra teoría es que igual Zhongli se convierte en el nuevo Arconte Geo. Es que para ser Arconte Geo supongo que tienes que ser de elemento Geo. Y no creo que Ningguang vaya a ser la nueva Arconte. Yo creo que va a ser Zhongli. A no ser que Zhongli nos esté ocultando algo.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago. Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
It was so big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy this fancy place before.
Dios mío.
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust?
Mejor de lo que esperaba.
Super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very friendly.
La amabilidad es el arma de las personas de negocios.
Yeah, his take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. He thinks that even the
Yo creo que
Catholic is more
Kuching
trustworthy than
era, ¿no? Es mucho más fiable.
Oh. So you also met with Kuching then? What did she have to say?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
No respect for the divine. Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Kuching, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart. Though they are both members of the Qixing. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions.
Ningguang es muy ambiciosa.
Yes, she has only relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve that. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
Ya es suya
Jade
para
Chamber
siempre.
is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Why, Mora, of course.
¿Por qué no me sorprende?
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they aren't to be trusted.
That is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise
Es
me.
normal, déjalos. Y ahora están tratando de reproducir el sello del permiso. Uy, eso a Zonli no le gusta.
No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always
Lo que me
be on
extraña
your
es que
guard.
Child nos presentó a Zonli.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of
O sea, no creo que estos dos se lleven mal.
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild glaze lilies.
Glaze lilies? Well, why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Yujing Terrace have some? Even Qingsa village has glaze lilies. Oh, right! Paimon remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
No, those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies. It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to human song. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were wiped out. Of course, there are some kinds of flowers that have been preserved and gardened by people in the city. But very few people know that glaze lilies may still be found in the wild. Wild glaze lilies have the strongest fragrance. If we want to follow the true
Ya no hay
tradition of the
muchos
rite
y vamos a
of
moler
parting,
salvajes.
we must grind up the wild lilies
Acabando
and
con
place
las
the
especies.
powder in a censer of everlasting incense. But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers.
¿Necesitas que cante? Porque si quieres canto.
That's correct.
Ah, que era verdad.
Your singing will surely bring out the strongest fragrance from the flowers.
So how good is your singing?
Más o menos. Soy todo un profesional. Bueno, bueno, si me preguntáis a mí, en SingStar a veces gano. ¿Eso cuenta? Bueno, más o menos.
Really? Why doesn't
Es que, a ver, si va,
Paimon
que
lead?
cante Izal sería raro porque no habla nunca.
We'll only know once he starts singing.
Bueno, si canta me callo, Busca lirios de cristal salvajes con Zhongli. Porque si canta habrá que dejarle cantar. Pero no hay nadie cantando. ¿Por qué me mienten?
It's time to sing whenever you're ready.
Oh, Dios mío. Oh, Dios mío, qué desastre. Flor melómana.
Flowers are jumping. They're really angry. Is it
Una canción de monsters que no entienden el Liyue.
they don't understand
Ay, ¿cómo se diría la palabra? Sacrilegio, sacrilegio. Ah, qué gracia. Un puto izal. Ta, 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 ta. Esa es la de Bárbara, joder. Estaba pensando, ¿de quién era eso? Es lo que dice Bárbara, una de sus acciones cuando está quieta. Joder, ¿me dejáis de congelar, por favor? Me estáis dando asco. ¿Son de agua o son de hielo? Son hidro, ¿verdad? Bueno, no, son críos. Joder. No, estoy mojado, no. Vale, me quedaba una, no sé qué hizo con su vida. Ah, ya está.
Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
Qué flores tan agresivas.
This little monster is known as a whopper flower. Strange. These petals look interesting. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we can of these petals.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Unfortunately, no.
That's so lame.
Excuse me.
Oh, Ganyu, quiero una, mi vida.
Are you searching for glaze
Me
lilies?
encanta.
Oh, hey, it's... What's her face? Kinda can't remember.
Saludos, Ganyu.
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember.
No me acordaba, pero lo ponía en la caja de texto.
That reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Well, it sure would have been better if you
No,
told us how to
me
get
encanta
there.
su diseño. La quiero en mi equipo.
Didn't I tell you the way? Sure.
Nope, we found the way on our own.
Quizás olvidaste mencionarlo porque todo el mundo sabe llegar.
Oh, I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met. Where's her serious attitude now?
¿De qué es? Es de crío, ¿verdad?
Oh, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
Y cambia su personalidad acorde a lo que está haciendo.
You came all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it. Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
Oh, sorry, we shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet. When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis. It's truly a changing of the guard.
Eso significa que...
Yes. Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7.
Maldito Venti.
The other 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro. He is merely 500
Solo
years
500 años.
old,
Wow.
whereas Rex Lapis was
Ojalá
more
yo.
than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing.
6.000 años.
This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago. The city has never had to bid farewell to its deity.
So what do you think of this farewell?
Huh? This is a little sudden. As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed,
Nosotros
the time
sabíamos
of
que
Liyue's
Ganyu era un
contract with the
adeptus.
gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Huh? Did you just say as an adeptus?
Eso explicaría por qué tiene cuernos.
Yes, I am a mix of human
Oh.
and Chilean. Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of
Entonces, ¿esta
Liyue
chica
during the
cuántos años
Archon War.
tiene?
After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day.
Este prota es como yo. Eso explica por qué tiene cuernos.
Well, let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here looking for glaze lilies? I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself. Here, you may have it if you wish.
Esto mona.
We dare not
¿La
refuse
pondrán
it.
para invocar?
Oh,
Yo la
so
quiero.
did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition
¿Nos va a
well.
cantar?
In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your stuff too. Thanks, Ganyu.
Da, 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 da,
No,
da,
it is
da,
you
da.
who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord. If you would excuse me, I should return to my work now. Good luck.
Adiós, Ganyu.
And that
Algún
just
día.
about does it. Our preparations for the rite of parting are mostly finished. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks, in more ways than one.
Zonli debería ver su propia floristería.
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him starting a business in Liyue.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over time. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow. See? Zhongli sounds like he's already seen it all. Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue Harbor now.
Vale, la fragancia de soledad. Vuelve a Liyue. Vale, vamos a ver ese libro de cristal. ¿Dónde estaban los objetos claves? Aquí. Libro de cristal utilizado en el ritual del ascenso. Debido a los cambios geológicos, estas flores han perdido su hábitat natural. Dicen que entienden los corazones humanos y florecen al escuchar canciones cargadas de emoción. Vale. Parece que va a ocurrir algo de camino a Liyue. Porque hay un evento antes de entrar. Espero que Chive no tenga que ver. Nunca he ido a ese sitio. No sé si habrá un cofre o algo. ¿Por qué tengo el mapa tan acercado? Bueno, no, justamente con Chive no tiene que ver.
The city gate is swarming with Lilith and the Fatui?
This atmosphere is highly abnormal.
Oh no.
It seems as though something big has happened. We should ask around a little,
Ahí yo voy.
just to be safe.
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
Desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them.
¿Qué? O sea, se van a enfrentar contra los
But it's more like
adeptos.
they're attempting to stall the
Adeptus,
Adepti
perdón.
outside the city. However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
Surely the Liyue Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing. She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? That's the Qixing for you. Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
It looks like things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
No podemos quedarnos de brazos cruzados.
Do you intend to use your neutral identity as an intermediary between both sides? Or will you use your sword to turn the balance?
Por el Mass Effect yo usaría la palabra más que la
Neither
espada.
path
Pero...
is an easy one.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli, we've heard that the Wangsheng funeral parlor has also been caught up in all of this. They're currently squaring off with the authorities at the gates.
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things back at Wangsheng funeral parlor. I hope that Master Hu has been able to keep things under control for the moment. Consider your next course of action carefully, traveler. If you're trying to prevent an explosion, it may be wisest to look for the fuse first.
Y desaparece así Lee, ¿sabes?
Quite the double-edged sword. So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse?
Novail barra el chico pelirrojo barra el chico rico que pagó todo por nosotros hasta ahora.
Oh, Paimon gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down,
Puto Child. Quiere ver la ciudad arder.
he must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do
Si no lo ha hecho
something
ya.
really bad. But where could we find him now? Where would he go?
En mi equipo, en la flecha de dirección arriba. Solo hay un lugar al que podría ir. Al banco, ¿no? ¡Oh! Se nos acabó. ¡Ay, qué pena! Bueno, chicos, hemos acabado Palacio de la Soledad, creo que era. O algo de la Soledad. Algo de la Soledad era. Y nos tocaría hacer choque de intereses. Pero lo vamos a dejar para el próximo vídeo. Nada, ¿qué os ha parecido este episodio? La verdad es que no sé si Ganju está confirmada como para poderla invocar, pero a mí me molaría que se pudiera invocar. O sea, es un personaje que me gusta bastante el diseño. Tiene una visión, así que podría ser invocable. Tiene una visión de crío, me parece. Aunque bueno, de crío me gusta bastante este niño, pero no tengo otro de crío que me guste, porque lo que es Kaella por mí puede arder. Así que no sé. Y bueno, recordaros así un poco que Cuyo de The Fantasy of Zelda empezó también Genshin Impact en su canal nuevo, que es Mundo Alternativo. Lo tenéis en los canales asociados. Así que si le queréis echar un vistazo, pues ahí lo tenéis. Y nada, espero que os haya gustado mucho Genshin Impact, que os lo estéis pasando muy bien todos con el juego, que es gratuito. Y hasta otra.